another beautiful episode of Parents and Children Interactive Section. It's been amazing having you guys listen to us every Sunday evening. Thank you for the comments, the suggestions, and everything. We find them very worthy, and we are happy to have you on this program. Today again, we are here still continuing with the beautiful topic we started last week. Last week, we had a guest, an educationist, a renowned and experienced one. And the topic was on corporal punishment as an effective parental tool. We wanted to know if corporal punishment was still an effective tool or should just be eradicated, how outdated it is, how relevant do we still have corporal punishment in making sure that we'll bring up our children in a godly and in a good way. And then our guest digged into the topic. He did a lot of justice, but then he was telling us his view from his perspective as a teacher. And then he made us know that, or he kept emphasizing the point that it should not be eradicated, it's not outdated, but should be used in the right way. Kindly visit the last video we did to listen to Mr. James tell us some things about corporal punishment. And then I thought about it. I said, we have to hear from both ends. We've heard from him. We also need to hear from someone, a student, who can tell us what they feel corporal punishment is to them, and also tell us if it's outdated or not. So welcome with me today to this program. A beautiful, he's an handsome, actually, he's still a beautiful young man. By the name, tell us your name, please.
My name is Master Chiemeka.
Wow, you're welcome. How old are you?
I'm 12 plus years old.
Okay, 12 plus. It's so good to have you here, and the topic today is corporal punishment. I know I didn't give you the topic. I didn't give you an hint into what the topic is because I wanted you to just flow and talk to us from what's inside your heart, just to tell us a realistic view. I want you to give us a realistic view, what you feel about corporal punishment. So what is corporal punishment?
Corporal punishment is basically just flogging, and it should not be used in this modern day to discipline a child.
Ha! I just said what is corporal punishment. You just said it should not be used in this modern day. Hey, to discipline a child. Okay, just because we don't have much time on our sleeves. Okay, have you been punished before? Have you been flogged before?
Yes.
By who?
My parents and my teachers.
Your parents and your teachers. Okay, can you remember one of the scenarios? What made your parents flog you?
That's because I didn't do my homework.
You didn't do your homework?
Yes.
Oh, so that was wrong.
And my teacher told them.
Okay, your teacher reported you to your parents that you didn't do your homework and then you were flogged. Okay? Were you injured in the process?
No.
You were not injured. So what was not the issue?
It was very, very painful.
It was painful. And they always say, no pain, no gain. So, did you gain anything from the flogging? What effect did the flogging have? What positive or negative effect did the flogging have?
The positive side of the flogging is that it made me the fear of the flogging made me to be doing my homework further. But the negative side is that the fear doesn't last that long when you go older, most likely when you reach basic 5.
Okay.
Because then you can start learning to resist the pain. So currently that's not what's pushing me to my way. Currently it's because of my respect for my academics and I want to go further. Okay. So the pain doesn't last that long, but the discipline also doesn't last that long.
Okay. So when you are flogged, it's just that instant pain. Yes. And as you grow older, that means when you were younger, it was effective.
Yes.
Okay. It was very effective. Oh, thanks for that. So that means at a tender age, it was very effective.
Yes.
Because like the one you said, they flogged you, and the fear of not being flogged made you to now start doing your homework.
Yes.
But as you advanced in age, it was no longer effective.
Yes.
Okay, you could now resist the pain.
Yes.
Okay. And then it was no longer effective. And you made mention of something. You said you now doing your homework is just because you have respect for your academics and your ambitions and all that. Okay, so that means what you're trying to say is there is a particular age where corporal punishment stops being effective.
Yes.
Okay, at what age exactly?
Most likely age 9. From age 9.
Is it? Are you speaking from your own experience?
Yes.
Okay, from your own experience.
From age 9 usually.
Okay. So if you are flogged now, it doesn't have any effect.
No.
Wow, that's serious. Okay, are you still being flogged?
No, not really.
Not really.
No.
Oh, that's beautiful. Okay, so I've been able to establish a point, I think a valid point, that is an age, because I remember the last week I was asking Mr. James. I said, okay, at what age do you think flogging stops being effective? For me, I always feel it's even a much older age. Maybe like when a child gets to the age of 12, 13, 14, 15, it stops being effective. Here in Africa, you see a mom or you see some dads still trying to a kind of flog or a kind of beat, could be with hand or with whatever, children that are older. And then from what you said, it means that's not an effective way of discipline. The pain could be there, but it doesn't make you to change your actions or reconsider your actions, right?
Yeah, especially when you're not at other age.
When you're at what age?
At another age.
Okay, at some certain age.
Yes.
And you said from age 9.
Yes.
A 9-year-old should be in what class?
9 should be in either basic 4 or basic 5.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, so that means from basic 4, 5, that is some people call it grade 4, grade 5, it starts being effective.
Not in all cases. Like some cases, why I said either basic 4 or basic 5, because in my basic 5, when I entered my basic 5, I was still 9 years old.
Okay.
So most likely basic 4, in your basic 4 you won't it will still be very effective. But in your basic 5, as you're now advancing to secondary school, it starts becoming less effective.
Okay. So that means in grade schools, in elementary schools, it could be effective.
Yes.
In high schools, it's not effective. Okay. So are you saying when a child is being flogged at some certain age, is now actually not, you are not trying to discipline the child, you are just punishing the child?
Not really. Some parents they in their intentions are to discipline the child, but to the child at another age, better understanding, and especially in the teenage age, is punishment to them.
Okay, punishment.
Yeah.
Almost so like an abuse,
Yes.
a child abuse.
Yes.
Okay, I see. So at that stage, at least you have passed, you said you are 12 plus, you have passed the age where you feel you have, okay, you've not passed, you are now in the age where you feel corporal punishment is not effective. So what effective tool can we use? What exactly would make you want to, and there's something, okay, yes, what exactly, before I say that, what exactly would make you want to check your ways, correct your mistakes without being flogged?
Most likely, some, not really flogging, but some punishments. Like there are some particular punishments that can make one change away. And to sit down with the child and talk to them, discipline them, tell them how their future is going to be if they continue on this path.
Okay.
So I feel like that's the most effective way to discipline a child.
Okay, the most effective way is dialoguing with them.
Yes.
Okay, having this deep conversation.
So you can understand them and they can also understand you.
Okay, that's another deep topic. Oh, dialoguing. Okay, because this dialoguing of a thing, there are different ways. Oh, there is a way you dialogue with someone and they get emotionally damaged.
Yes.
It's still a form of, it's even worse than flogging. I don't know if it's worse, but I think I consider it worse. Okay, it's worse. Okay, it's still worse than flogging.
No, that is worse.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's another topic for another day, because what I'm trying to achieve today is I wanted to hear your own view about this, to know if corporal punishment is an outdated tool. But I think you have thrown more light, a deeper light into the discussion. Last week, I was still hanging in between, seeing if it was still effective or not effective. That was because our guests told us that it's effective, but I remembered it didn't really specify the age it stops being effective. So I think you are giving me from the right source when you feel it stops being effective. You said age 9. Okay. Now, and you have also said dialoguing is a better way rather than flogging. So, what about eradicating corporal punishment entirely? What do you think about it?
It shouldn't be eradicated entirely.
Okay.
Because especially when you're not disciplined from a young age, like from a very young age,
Okay.
then corporal punishment can be used. But as far as the parents have disciplined with corporal punishment at that young age, makes the child to understand what they are doing wrong.
Okay.
Then you can stop using it, but it shouldn't be eradicated entirely.
Thank you. It shouldn't be eradicated entirely, because I remember you shared your experience and said when you were very tender, you didn't do your assignment, you were flogged, and the fear of not being flogged again made you start doing your assignment. So that means at that tender age, corporal punishment is still very effective. Oh, thank you so much for that. Okay, now when you talk about this corporal punishment, I for one know that you have had a lot of experiences. Have you had any form of have you had an encounter where someone flogged you? I know I asked you if your parents had flogged you, maybe a teacher or someone, and you got injured in the process.
I think when I was in grade 5,
Okay.
a teacher was flogging. I got 18 over 20 in my summative.
18 over 20.
Yes, and
you missed. You got 2 wrong marks. Okay.
The teacher said that everybody must get 20 over 20. So
Okay.
my punishment, I was the second highest in my class. The first got 20 over 20.
Okay.
So
why you got 18?
He said how many stones you fail, how many marks you fail is how many stones you flog it. So he flogged me the first one, it was okay. Then he missed the second one and the thing sliced me on my skin here.
Wow.
A mark here.
And gave you a mark on your skin.
Yes.
Okay. And that's part of the problems we have, where corporal punishments are being used wrongly and the child gets injured. Definitely, inflicting an injury on a child, I know, is a very great offense. Even the law does not support inflicting injury. Because I've seen a lot of cases where people claim to be correcting a child, or they feel the child has done something worthy of being punished. And in the process of correcting, in quotes, correcting the child by using corporal punishment, they've ended up injuring, causing severe injuries and some permanent scars on children. So I think, just like our guest said last week, Mr. James said there should be a balance. Corporal punishment should be done with the right motive, the motive of correcting. And when you are doing it with the motive of correcting, you don't get to injure the child. And that brings me back to what you said. Even at that age, you said you were being flogged. I think that age, you told me 9. By then, you were above 9 years old.
The one that injured?
Yes.
Yeah, it was towards the ending of basic 5. It was towards the end of basic 5, so I reached 10 years old.
Okay, so, and that flogging, what effect? Was it a positive? Did it have a positive effect or a negative one?
No, it was very negative because I felt like it was unfair because I did my best on that test.
Okay, it was unfair. So the effect was negative. So that means you saw it as an outright punishment, an abuse,
yes,
not actually a correction. Okay. Oh, now, and that's one of the problems we have. People don't know where to draw the line, and that's why in the Western world, it's been totally eradicated. You don't eat a child for no reason. Although we know that corporal punishments could be effective at some particular point in the life of a child, but all the same, it needs to be done with extreme care. And where you can't control how people use it, I think that's why the Western world eradicated it. But you have told us now that it should not be totally eradicated, and then there's a particular level or a particular age a child gets to, the method should outrightly not be used any longer. And then those who now use corporal punishment should learn to balance up, that is, use it rightly. Okay, so the teacher flogging you to you was an abuse, like an unfair punishment. Okay, on behalf of the teacher, I say sorry. I hope you are forgiving the teacher, either a male or a female, and I hope they get to watch this and then amend their ways. So thank you so much. I think you just hit the points. It was that you just gave us the right things we needed to hear, and I'm so happy that you opened up and you told us your mind. Do you have any other thing you would like to say to us? Any other?
No, not really. I feel like I've made my points valid.
You made your valid points. Yes, thank you. That's correct. And your points are corporal punishment should not be totally eradicated. A particular stage of a child's life, it should not be eradicated, and then care should be taken when corporal punishment is being melted out. Okay, because I've seen cases where parents arrest teachers and all that for inflicting injuries on their children, and I know nobody wants. What about parents that inflict injuries on their children?
Parents.
Yes.
I feel like it should be, it should not be advised to inflict an injury on your children. Because if it's a teacher inflicting the injury on the child, it will not give the child the kind of scar. Because to them, it's just a teacher, they're going to see him and go. But to the child, it's their parents, so it can leave a more emotional damage, which is way more painful than physical damage.
Okay, so each time the child sees the parent, he remembers the scar, remembers the punishment.
Yes.
So it could even cause a psychological issue between the child and the parent. It detach.
The child can go
wayward.
Okay. With the parents, and the child can choose a path that will not be good for them.
For both the parents and the child.
Yes.
Wow.
And they can also go distant.
Okay, create a distance between them.
Yes, which is not healthy.
Which is not healthy. Okay, lastly, let me just ask you this. If you have the opportunity to become the president of Nigeria in one day, and then you are asked to pass some bills, that is, make some laws as regards corporal punishment, what would you do?
Well, I'll put an age limit for corporal punishment, like I made my point.
Okay, you put an age limit for corporal punishment, okay?
Because once you're older, you don't really see it as discipline. You see it as punishment.
Punishment, okay.
So, and then I will advise parents and teachers that they shouldn't be injuring their children. And I'll make a law that if any teacher inflicts an injury on the child, it can be sentenced to maybe 1 month in prison.
1 month?
Yes.
Okay. In case you wake up to see an headline that Chiemeka is the new president of Nigeria, please remember what he has said. Wrong use or abuse of corporal punishment will attract 1 month imprisonment. Okay, thank you so much, Chiemeka, for being on the podcast today. I really appreciate you, and thank you for being sincere, for telling us your own view, your realistic view, and that's why I didn't give you information, so you will not go and think about it and think about to modify what you say. Okay, God bless you, and to all our viewers, our fans, and everyone who's been with us from day one, would like to still read from you, would like to get to hear your comments, would like to get to know what you feel about this topic. And I want to really appreciate Dr. Chinedu, who dropped a comment for us last week, and it was quite very insightful. Thank you, sir, for all the beautiful, the corrective suggestions and comments that you made. It's really, really appreciated. God bless you, sir. And to everyone, I say thank you. See you again next week, Sunday. Bye.